Bran on the other side is one of Speedle's coaches. So
really,
very familiar with the team, very familiar with the players. So excited to see the matchup here as we go into this.
Yeah, looking at these comps here. So this is pretty similar to what Sunday morning Sneedle was running earlier with the Tent, Inkbrush, and the Tetra, and also a pretty similar comp to what Saturday night was running as well with the Charger plus the Wiper and the Tent, and the Brella, sorry.
Yeah, I love seeing the Inkjet Brella coming out here from Otter. Wani on his classic Charger, and the Wiper and the Shot here just doing their thing, getting the zone early here. They're taking good space in mid. Missiles and Whale going to push them out a little bit here as they each go one down. And the Brush getting another pick here. They're gonna take the zone.
Yeah, good stuff from Sunday morning here. It's sort of like they won that initial interaction, and now they're probably gonna push to lead. Although we do have to see on Barnacle, there are a couple of flank routes, but you can't flank all the way into spawn, at least on zone. So we'll have to see what they do to hold their lead here.
Yeah, we see the Inkjet coming out here, the Charger up in a good position, and the Hammer coming out, gonna be able to take some space here. We have one down on the side of Sunday morning Sneedle. The Hammer is thrown, doesn't get any picks this time, but it does enough to get the zone and maybe find the pick on the Brush here.
Yeah, Sauce doing a great job down here in lower right, just skirmishing, is able to open it up for their team, although you do have to be careful as Sakura on that Inkbrush is flanking behind you, taking attention away from the zone, just buying time. That's what Inkbrush does best.
Kid doing very well, sharking, waiting for the Brush to go away there, not going down to a bad play popping up there. And Sunday morning Sneedle keeping the zone, getting more space, and pushing up into the crab from Saturday night Speedle.
Yeah, they really haven't broken a single time here. They bent a little bit. They let them get the cap there for a minute, but with that, I don't even know. That was a true Splatoon moment at the moment where Kronos is now able to pick up. They have lost the zone, and they have lost their Tetris player as well, so Kronos is put in a pretty hard spot. They decide just to jump out, preserve their life, and try to push up here. Battle of the Brellas. Otter comes out in the lead and is traded out there. Although I will say Sunday morning Sneedle has put up a good show here. This might be a trade of the lead. Ooh. Yes, indeed it is, although good pick from Bran.
Yeah, good pick from Bran. The missiles, the bomb. They get the zone back here. It looks like they're going to start Sunday morning Sneedle. But Saturday night Speedle holding very well after getting that lead, and Sunday morning Sneedle still hasn't been able to get the zone.
Yeah, they really haven't. You know, they've been super duper scrappy so far. It's not like they've taken three of them out, but Bran has just been putting in work with this Splattershot Pro, just getting pick after pick and getting just enough chip damage to help their team, pulling out the missiles here. We will need to see them retake soon, though, because only 23 points left. This should be a flip.
The solo missile on Juani there felt targeted. that felt personal, you know? But Sunday morning Sneedle able
they need to get them out of there, so they're just going to solo pop missiles.
It worked, and they got back in. They got the zone, and Sakura being just a menace with the Brush up here, just staying alive, not letting Saturday night Speedle move back in.
Indeed, and this is really the first time we've seen Sunday morning Sneedle like all the way get into their spawn. Sakura doing a great job, like you said, Enki, getting behind them. They are still alive, and they have 2 down on the side of Saturday night. If Sakura can get this crab pick, that would be huge, and yes, they do.
Sakura going crazy here. They get the lead. They get the recall. Kid is going to have to do a lot here to get back in by themselves. Only 5 points left. Is Sunday morning Sneedle going to be able to hold? The tank comes out. They get the pick. And Sunday morning Sneedle takes game 1.
You know, clutch pump from Kronos there at the very end. But I will tell you what turned the tide there for Sunday morning Sneedle was when they got Sakura into their base, just underneath their drops, distracting them, maybe not necessarily getting picks. They did get picks, but they didn't need to get picks in order to stall it out, because all that time their team's counter was just ticking down, and eventually it would tick to 0.
Yeah, what I love about that moment, too, is Sakura stayed alive for so long, distracted them for so long, and then at the perfect time, flip right back out, got the person that was going towards zone, and then traded with the Inkjet recall.
If you lose the first checkpoint, I expect both teams will lose the first checkpoint. If you can just defend from first to second checkpoint, then that might be enough just to win the game right there.
Are we going to see 10 v 10? We see a different pro this time. No, sticking with the...
Okay, yeah. Looks like Otter's choosing to stay with that Vibrella. I mean, it is a very good play, and she's been putting a lot of work with it so far this tournament. But yeah, Kronos sticking with the tent, and it looks like really the only change change on their side is to go to that Forge Pro as opposed to the Frozen Pro.
Yeah, and I mean, that's a good choice. You know, GG Booyah Bomb is so powerful when you're in that lead position, and it's good for pushing in too. So Brand's going to be able to do a lot with that. Kronos getting pushed out a little bit here after their tent got broken, but the Booyah Bomb comes out and takes out the Wiper before they're able to get their hammer off. 2 down on each side, but Sunday Morning Sneedle making a good first push.
Yeah, this is an interesting position here because Curse Kid here is behind the tower, but there's just way too much pressure, and this will look like an easy clear here for Sunday Morning Sneedle as they push past that first checkpoint, but we already talked about it. There's a long way to go to the second one.
A long way to go indeed. Brand's doing a really good job of just keeping the tower in that area. Gonna throw that Booyah Bomb right at Juani back there, make the charger move, and we see Sunday Morning Sneedle go in, but the hammer from behind is able to stop that tower push at least momentarily and get another with the throw.
Nice. Oh, incredible movement from Sauce there, and the just awareness to go behind the tower and make stuff work with their hammer. Going back into our overhead view, I think we are going to see a huge push to the first checkpoint, although Sakura and Kronos are working together here on the left-hand side. Although the trips will slow that down, they need to dislodge Sakura before they get too close.
They really do, but the rest of the team is doing so well holding from the mid. Kronos using that tent to try to push in, try to get some picks with with the Zuka, but Otter being the alpha Brella here and taking out Kronos.
You know, 2 games already, 2 like Brella 1v1s where the two just face each other down and they just have the Brella battle. It's an absolute honor to see here, but Sauce is so far up. If they get something big with this hammer, we could see a lot more than just first checkpoint. That's one on Brand. No Booyah coming out, Enki.
No Booyah indeed. And you called out earlier that the Wiper has gotten so much better and made some just insane plays, and they are MVPing this game, absolutely. With the Brella up here, Otter doing work, staying alive for a little bit after that too. And they're at the second checkpoint now, Saturday Night Speedle.
It'll be big if this falls. Juani is just on the tower. They dodge the bomb. Excellent move. Things are getting down close here. They do manage to push them off the tower, but a push to 6 is absolutely massive.
Even with them wiping here, that is a huge push. They got past both checkpoints. That's going to be really hard for Sunday Morning Sneedle to get back.
Yeah, I think Sunday Morning Sneedle, if they want to have a chance to get, 2-5 and take the lead, they're going to have to do exactly what their enemies did on that last push. They have to get to their top left and just shut down enough players to buy them time through the second checkpoint because, and a very good shot there. There's no possible way that you can push there as long as there's someone in top right or top left. And right now, they are still mid.
Yeah, Sunday Morning Sneedle moving the tower forward just a little bit here, but Saturday Night Speedle has been so good at just getting the 1 or 2 picks that they need to keep them from gaining any momentum. We see the crab coming out here, the Wiper taken out, but the bomb and the Zuka and the Brella doing the most, getting the rest of the members. That tower is not going anywhere right now.
Yeah, the coordination we see here between the shot, the Wiper, and the Brella on the side of Saturday Night Speedle has been absolutely impeccable. It's like if you take one of them down, the other 2 are just there fighting over and over again. And I think it's just that coordination that has allowed them to push so far. And right now, they're in a pretty dominant position in mid with a lot of mid control and pushing that tower further.
They have strikes ready too, and a Zuka. So as long as that ink pen or the ink brush goes down, which they do, they only have 2 up, but they have the strikes to keep moving the tower forward here. And they get the pick on the 10. That's crazy.
Otter has been going absolutely insane this tournament, but particularly this match, just putting in insane work with this Brella. You see, the fact that they're remaining on tower, even if this isn't a knockout, is perfectly fine because as far as they push it, they are going to be keeping it out of the opponent's side, and a miracle needs to be happening to prevent the map out. What are we seeing, Enki? What is this?
It is 1-1 here because of that amazing push from Saturday Night Speedle. I am shocked. That was such a good game.
The first game was really, really well balanced, and Sunday Morning Sneedle sort of turned around there at the end, and they were like, okay, we're just going to push. But that game seemed to be just really in the favor of Saturday Night Speedle instead. It seemed like they let them get basically first checkpoint, and that was it. Yeah. Nothing more.
Yeah, like Sunday Morning Sneedle had the first good push. Like they got about halfway through that court. They got about halfway to that second.
Good option here as well, depending on where you want to use your specials. But as we're rolling out here into Clam Blitz, 1-in-1, it looks like Brand, to your point, is sticking, with what they know here, and they're going back to the Splattershot Pro frozen.
They're going back to the missiles. We see the Sorella coming back out here
There it
with
is.
the Inkjet. So back to the first game's comps on both sides here.
Indeed, Sakura with the early pick is able to, whoa, 1v1ing Otter right there, who does come out on top. So that's one down for each side. Pretty neutral here.
Yeah, yeah, pretty neutral there. We see Otter with a good pick, 1v1. Fighting the tent over on the side here. They have help as well, but so far not a lot happening on either side. They're just kind of getting their paint down, getting some clams in their possession. Chronos starting to make a push up and going towards the ramp as well.
Yeah, looks like they are able to get 2 down. It looks like they do have enough clam economy. Chronos with the one pump tent, their specialty, just taking out Otter from the sky there. And now they are in an incredibly powerful position. You do not want the enemy tent to be getting up on the bats with their shield up. I think this could go a ways for a push, Engi.
Yeah, this is going to be a really big push unless Speedle can pull out something amazing here. They don't have any specials on their side, and Sneedle are just going back and picking up more clams slowly but surely, keeping the pressure on up in the bats there. Chronos forced to move out a little bit, but using that shield to his advantage just to annoy a little bit longer.
Chronos is still alive. This entire push through all 68 of those points, they were just surviving up there, and that's really what Tent does best, right? Tent just stays alive and is that impenetrable wall. Extremely good opening from Sunday morning Sneedle here. Saturday Night Speedle is going to have to find an answer.
And an answer they have found with that hammer coming down, supporting the Brella, getting some clams here. They have the entire mid painted, and they're moving very quickly towards Sneedle's plat. Maybe they're going to be able to make a push. They don't have a power clam yet, but they do have, 12 clams in their possession. They could make it work.
Yeah, looks like a trade in mid that'll lose them a couple of clams and maybe require them to wait on this push a little bit longer. Sauce is in a bad spot, can't quite jump out, is punished by Chronos, who looks like they're just going to push their Zuka back up on the plat of their opponents here. It's really just aggression from the side of Sunday morning Sneedle this game.
Wow, and the Tetra's up in the bats again here. They're able to make a power clam here. The Inkjet is out on the side of Saturday Night Speedle, but Sneedle getting a power clam in, but they are 3 down now. Saturday Night Speedle able to grab their pity clam and start to push towards mid to make another push.
Yeah, this might be the opportunity that Saturday Night Speedle was looking for. Sunday morning Sneedle was able to make a push. They didn't really get a whole lot out of it, and they gave them one additional power clam, although being slowed down again, it's Chronos with that tent umbrella just slowing the game down and allowing them to sort of come back to mid. 2 down, I think we've moved back to sort of neutral position with most of the clams on the side of Saturday Night Speedle.
Yeah, we have, but Speedle has kept so much paint in the mid. Even when it seems like Sunday morning Sneedle is getting some momentum, is getting forward, Speedle still looks like they have the paint advantage, and I think that's working to their advantage almost. I think they could use it to their advantage to make a good push to keep Sneedle out, but they just haven't put it all together yet. But they might here with Brave up in the plat.
Indeed, Sauce is able to get a really good pick on Inkpen there, so no Tetras for just a minute. They will come back quickly. They have a couple of clams in their possession, but it really does seem like they don't have quite enough people up on the plat to really work it. The jump is going to come in. I'm not sure if it's too far away.
They got the power clam in.
They did get it in. This might go a little bit further, but they need another few picks.
It looks like this push is over here, but they got so many points. They're going to be able to make another good push later, hopefully, to keep Sunday morning Sneedle out of it. I mean, the tides kind of did just turn there. They were able to use their ink as their advantage and keep Sneedle out. They made a really good play.
Yeah, Curse Kid here is just trying to hold space in mid. They just used their special. It looks like Sauce has their hammer ready. They might just decide to play aggro up on the plat here. We'll have to see what they decide to do. They also might have to wait out the missiles, wisely jumping out, just barely surviving the missiles. But again, 3v3 situation here. No one team can make a push just yet.
No one team can make a push just yet, and the crab was used, but it kind of just painted mid. No big picks coming out of there. The Inkjet's out again here, but gets taken out. Was that by Brand?
I think that was Brand. I don't know how they hit that there. That was an insane shot if that was Brand who got the pick. But again, Curse Kid just trying to escape. Can't quite do it. Advantage again on the side of Sunday morning Sneedle with only 20 seconds left. We'll see if they decide to push here or if they decide just to hold mid. They do have the lead.
They do have the lead, and it's only 15 seconds. They could just use this to their advantage. Take the space they need. Don't go in too far. And if they're able to make a push, great. If not, just sit in mid, use the space you've created,
Oh.
or just get the wipeout, finish the game there, and win the third game. Well done, Sunday Morning Sneedle, going up 2-1.
Sunday Morning Sneedle in the lead here. They are on match point. Only one more in this best of 5 in order to move on to our finals. Although really well played still from Saturday Night Speedle. They had a good push. It just wasn't as long as Sunday Morning's was. We saw on Sunday Morning with the tent up in the bats, they were just able to hold almost indefinitely, it seemed. And really, it's a little bit harder for Saturday Night Speedle's composition to do that. They had a great push. They got the second ball jump in, but it just wasn't as many points as their opponents.
Yeah, they needed to just hold that space a little bit more on those ledges and in those good spots. It's going to be really important with the charger.
Yeah.
We know he's good at holding space up there. We know he'll be good at that, and the rest of the team just has to do what they've been doing in keeping Sunday Morning Sneedle out of contention.
Indeed. It looks like both these comps are sticking with what they know works, with the Jetpack Brella coming out again. Juani back on that crab charger. We'll see who the first pop comes to, and it is in the side of Saturday Night Speedle, so small advantage them. Oh, until Curse Kid unfortunately gets punished by Bran.
Bran pushing up here too, trying to go for the right checkpoint. It looks if they can take out the wiper, but the wiper just being a pesky wiper up on the right side there. And Sunday Morning Sneedle pivoting to the left, where it looks like they've already taken a ton of space. The missiles and the what's that called? The missiles and the whale going to help them take even more space on that side too.
Yeah, those two combinations of specials can be very tricky displacement specials with an excellent pick from Juani, able to take them out. Although here's the shield we were talking about earlier. Kronos does have to choose to jump up here, jump out just to escape that jetpack. I'm not sure if they're going to establish enough, but it looks like they're going to continue the push here, Enki.
They're absolutely trying. You know, they have a lot of paint over there. They're able to keep the paint down, even with Saturday Night Speedle coming out here. And Kronos pushing up, trying to take out the crab while their team gets the checkpoint. And they do get the pick on the crab. What an amazing play, but they get wiped in the process.
You know, I think Kronos there was just like, let's try to take attention away from our team making the push, and it did work out for them. They were wiped, but you know, Rainmaker is a long way away here. Sauce is pushed up all the way. I don't know if they know where Sakura is right now. Sakura is going to go for a push, but unfortunately does get punished by that hammer here. Otter is going to move in with the Rainmaker on the left side. If they can shut down the shield, this might be a big push from the side of Saturday Night Speedle.
Yeah, but the Zuka coming out behind the shield, they're able to live, luckily, Saturday Night Speedle, and they're doing some great work taking the space, but the members of Sunday Morning Sneedle able to get the pick before the reslider even came out there, and they found the shark, so they're able to keep their lead and maybe make another push forward.
Indeed, that's one of those sharks where you know they're somewhere, you don't know exactly where, and unfortunately Wiper did get punished there, although Sunday Morning Sneedle has decided to pick up the Rainmaker using their tent player, that's Kronos, so they won't have the tent shield for a push, assuming it makes it that far, and with one going down, this might be Saturday Night Speedle's opportunity to capitalize.
Yeah, but the Inkjet not able to get any picks there. Bran able to live in the middle, and the rest of Sunday Morning Sneedle doing well, taking space, but the crab gets the pick on Bran, and Juani forced to jump out after using the crab, but taking the space they needed, I believe, to keep Sneedle from making a really good push.
Indeed, it looks like a bit of a stall fest in mid here, although they have pushed it a little dangerously close to the opponent's wall here with two members up here on the grate. That's Bran and Sakura. Sakura deciding to push forward here. This is actually a pretty dangerous position, I'd say, for Saturday Night Speedle unless they get a pick pretty quickly. You don't want the brush up in your walls, and that is a push to 32.
Kronos had that Rainmaker for a very long time there. I'm not sure if Speedle got them or if Sneedle just pops, honestly, with having it for so long. The Wiper making a good push here, finding the jump. Are they able to punish it? No, they're not. Sunday Morning Sneedle holding this space, but Speedle dropped the Rainmaker out on the other side to get it away. Yeah,
Speedle sort of had to drop that Rainmaker almost out of desperation there. They knew that they were two down, but they couldn't risk leaving the Rainmaker up in their opponent, up in their own spawn. Although I will tell you, all the map control at this point has sort of shifted towards Sunday Morning Sneedle. That aggression coming out from Inkpen and Sakura, along with the support from Bran, has really allowed them to continuously push up. And Saturday Night Speedle, don't forget, they have not cleared the first checkpoint yet.
They haven't yet, and Sneedle has so much paint in mid now. It's going to be really hard for Speedle to come back into this. Like, they're using their specials, they're trying to get the picks, but Sneedle is just staying alive and keeping the paint in front of them to not let them back in.
Indeed. I think they're going to have to capitalize off of this moment right here where we saw 2 down on the side of Sunday Morning Sneedle and 1 jumped out, although it has taken them a minute to try to suss out where that last person is in mid, and it does seem like they are choosing to go for this quicker, more dangerous right checkpoint, which they do break. And don't forget, they can push up the right side if they want to, but that is very dangerous. Let's see what they do.
It really is very dangerous, and I don't know how fast the points fall on that right side either. It seems like it's really close, so it might work out for them, but they need another pick or two before they're able to safely do it.
They do. They find one
gosh.
pick. They need to get rid of Inkpen
Tetris.
right now.
The
Inkpen is able to get that pick. They need to pick it up and push one more, although that is a wipeout. Holy smokes, Enki.
1 point. 1 point there. Sneedle held it in the perfect way. Inkpen on the Tetra is able to just rush forward and get the pick, and now Brand is getting it the heck out of their side.
Yeah, Brand knows that, you know, they might die here, but it's okay if they do because that will buy them a little more time. Although, I will say, oh, I thought they were about to survive their Enki. This is going to need to be a massive push from the side of Saturday Night Speedle.
It is, but they have the people out. They have the specials taking down the Zuka on the other side. Kid with a great couple shots there. They have a long way to push, but they might be able to do it.
You know, I think really the safe option, if you can call it safe, is to push left. Although 2 picks from Curse Kid is absolutely massive. They know where the third person is. Are they going right? Are they going right?
It looks like they're trying to. They sussed out the brush, but the Pro is coming back out. The Zuka not able to get the pick. The Crab is out here now on the side of Saturday Night Speedle. I'm not sure how much time Otter has left. It looks like about 30 seconds. They're able to, they have time to hold. They have time to try to make it up that ramp, but I think
they need like 2 picks here if they can survive this. No, just barely.
The Reefslider coming out. Inkpen doing an amazing, amazing job on both of those pushes there, just stopping them right in their tracks.
What an insanely close game. You know, most of that game, it seemed like it was Sunday Morning Sneedle's game to lose. They just had all the control in mid. They had a very large push, but then Saturday Night Speedle just found the right-hand side, and had they gone just a little bit further, we would have seen a lead flip and we might have gone to a Game 5, but still extremely well played from both teams there, and you know, it's always a treat seeing a double Brella matchup on the field.
Absolutely. The 1 point meme, Speedle versus Sneedle. Amazing set here.